Welcome back to the Nile Virus YouTube channel. Today we're going to get into a couple of things that I always get asked at the track, or friends that are getting into the hobby usually ask me. So first of all, what I always get asked is, what's the hot setup? How do I set up my car? How do I make my car drive better? This usually comes from people that either haven't been to the track before or have never been racing in general. So I'm going to start on the new people. They're just getting started. You just picked up your B6 buggy and you're running street stock. Or you just picked up your Traxxas Slash and you're going out there running a stock bomber class or sportsman class with a 13.5. Don't always try and go for the hot setup first. Hot setups, they're fast. Don't get me wrong. There's guys out there that they've hit on the setup. They've worked weeks upon weeks, days upon days, hours and hours and hours into their cars. They're good setups. They're fast cars. A lot of times those setups for a new driver are undrivable. You got to work on your own driving technique first, because what works for me or works for Joe Schmo out there that's TQ'd 15 weeks in a row isn't going to work for you. That's the biggest thing I can tell people is don't always go with what other people are running. Can they help you? Absolutely. And when you get better with your driving and you've reached the pinnacle of what you can do with your setup, then start asking the fast guys. They can help you out getting your car even faster. What you want to do first is take your car and just turn laps. If it's not handling right, it's going to be hard to get used to. So start off by trying to get your car to be not bottoming out into the corner. That's the first and foremost thing. If you're going to the corner and it's driving those into the dirt, clearly you're not going to learn very much with it. So starting off with that, go ahead and stiffen up your right front spring and left front spring to start off. Or an easy way to keep your car from bottoming out, little piece of fuel tube. Slide it on your shock shaft. Actually, I might have an example right here somewhere. Right here. Take a little piece of fuel tube, slide it onto your shock shaft. It limits how far that shock can move. This was actually set up for my buddy's car when he first started to do exactly that, keep it from bottoming out. All right, now let's say your car isn't bottoming out, but it's doing basically the opposite. It's going to the corner, rolling, and it's rolling over. This is what we call traction rolling. This means that it's rolling over on the spring because it's too soft, creating a lot of grip with that corner. It is good, don't get me wrong. It's creating too much. And then the G-forces of entering the corner are just flipping the car onto its lid. Clearly, you can't learn with a car doing that. So, same thing. Stiffer spring, piece of fuel tubing, something to stop it from doing a constant roll. So there's the front end. Second, obviously you got the rear end. If you're too stiff in the rear end, the car's going to spin around. Can't really learn with that much. Though, contradict myself here, if you're spinning out coming out of the corner, it's a good way to learn throttle control. So, turn your throttle down a little bit, learn to roll onto that finger. You don't need to be light switch. Always remember your throttle is not a light switch. It's not on and off. Roll the finger. What I like to do to practice is just take a piece of paper or clay or something, put it in between my fingers, and you want to be able to roll it down your hand with just your finger. Nice and easy. Doing it with a piece of clay is even better because you can feel it squish. If you're pushing too hard or too quick, it's going to squish out. If you do it nice and easy, you can roll it between your hand. A ball works well for this too. Just something I've picked up over the years. Last but not least on that topic there, if your car is also spinning out too much, good time to learn how to set up your slipper. If your slipper is too tight, as soon as you get on the throttle, there's no slip from the wheels. They're going to grip up and either wheelie or spin the car out. So go ahead, go to your slipper, take whatever tool size that it takes to adjust it. Say your little multi-tool that comes from Team Associated or Traxxas. It's a Team Associated. And just take about a half, maybe a full turn out of it. They don't need to be always bottomed right out. So I get this with a really quick how-to on this, and this doesn't work for everybody, and everyone's got a different way of doing this. But to start out, that's what I like to do. Get the car to stop from bottoming out, get the car to not be rolling over, and last but not least, get it to not be spinning out. Once you have it baseline with that, then just go out and turn hundreds upon hundreds of laps. Once you learn how to drive the car and the track itself, go from there. Then you can start changing out spring rates on different corners, getting the car to rotate more or less, getting the traction down. And as always, don't get frustrated with it. Don't just throw in the towel because the car won't rotate once or twice or it over rotates. Take a deep breath, take a step back. This is all for fun. Even if you have to pull off to the side during the race, step back from the driver's stand, take a deep breath, and then get back at it. There's no shame and there's no harm in that. Just learn your own limits with it, learn your car out, and sooner or later, you might be out there getting your TQs and your main wins. As always, like, share, and subscribe, people. Hope this helped out a few of you. Have a good one.